Welcome to Phrasal Verb Practice. This is the place to learn real English, one phrasal verb at a time. My name is Marissa, and I'll walk you through this learning journey. Hello everyone. Trust you're all well. In today's session, we'll cover and practice the phrasal verb carry off. We'll talk about what it means, how people really use it, and how you can use it naturally in everyday life and at work. So, let's start with the meanings. The phrasal verb carry off actually has three main meanings. First meaning. When we say carry off, we often mean to succeed at something difficult or impressive. Basically, you managed to do something well, even if it wasn't easy. For example, she carried off the presentation, even though she was very nervous. He carried it off with confidence. The team carried off a very challenging project. Now, another common meaning of carry off. We also use carry off to mean to steal something or take it away by force. For example, the thieves carried off several valuable items. Someone carried off his bag while he wasn't paying attention. During the storm, the strong water carried off cars and furniture. There's one more meaning that's also very common. We use carry off when someone wins a prize, a title, or an award. For example, she carried off first place in the competition. The movie carried off several awards. He carried off the title after a tough final match. So here's the main idea that connects all these meanings. With carry off, the idea is always about successfully taking something away. It could be success, an object, or a prize. Now, just to give you a quick sense of this phrasal verb in other languages. In Spanish, carry off is often like lograr algo con éxito or llevarse algo. In French, it's réussir à faire or emporter. In Portuguese, conseguir realizar or levar embora. In Italian, riuscire a fare or portare via. In German, erfolgreich schaffen or wegtragen. In Japanese, it's yaritogeru or mochisaru. And in Chinese, changgong kansung or naso daiso. So when do people usually use carry off? People use carry off when they succeed at something hard. They use it when someone handles a tricky situation well. It's also used when something is stolen or taken away. And very often, it's used when talking about winning awards, prizes, or titles. Let's look at a few clear examples to recap. She carried off the speech perfectly. That's the success meaning. He wasn't sure he could do it, but he carried it off. The robbers carried off the jewelry. The storm carried off part of the roof. And the athlete carried off the gold medal. Now let's talk a bit about how carry off works grammatically. Carry off is a separable phrasal verb. That means the object can go after the phrasal verb or in the middle. Structure. Carry off plus object. Carry plus object plus off. For example, she carried off the task successfully, or she carried the task off successfully. But here's an important point. When you use a pronoun, it has to go in the middle. So you say, she carried it off. You don't say, she carried off it. Now let's practice. First, you're going to hear a short text from everyday life. Then you'll hear another one in a professional or office situation. Are you ready? Let's start. Yesterday started like a normal day, but it turned into one of those days where a lot happens. In the morning, I had to get ready for a small family lunch. I tried a new outfit and wasn't sure it worked, But once I looked in the mirror, I felt I could actually carry off the look without feeling awkward. That gave me a little confidence boost. Later, while I was cooking, everything seemed to go wrong at first. I burned the first batch of food and almost gave up. Still, I took a breath, slowed down, and somehow managed to carry off the meal in the end. When my family arrived, no one noticed the earlier mistakes, and that felt like a small win. In the afternoon, a sudden storm hit the neighborhood. The wind was strong, and it literally carried off a trash can from the sidewalk. Everyone ran outside, laughing and trying to grab things before they disappeared. It was chaotic, but kind of funny too. That evening, I met some friends for a casual game night. There was a simple raffle with a small prize, nothing serious. Nobody expected much, but one friend surprised us all and carried off the prize with a lucky draw. We teased her about it for the rest of the night. At one point, someone noticed their phone was missing. For a moment, we worried someone had carried off the wrong bag by mistake. After a bit of searching, we found it under the couch, and everyone relaxed again. By the end of the day, I realized it wasn't about big achievements. It was about small moments. Getting through an awkward outfit choice, managing to carry off a meal, watching the wind carry off random things, and seeing a friend carry off a prize. Even when plans aren't perfect, it feels good when you still carry off the day somehow. Great, that was the first text. How many times did you hear the phrasal verb of the day? Now, let's move on to the second text. The week started with a tight schedule and a lot of pressure. On Monday morning, our manager asked me to present an update to senior leadership with almost no notice. I wasn't fully prepared, but during the meeting, I stayed calm and somehow carry off the presentation without freezing. A colleague later told me she wasn't sure I could do it, but I really carry it off by keeping things clear and simple. As the week went on, our team worked on a project that had already been delayed once. Everyone was tired and tension was high. Still, we focused, helped each other, and managed to carry off the project by Thursday afternoon. Finishing it felt like a real team win. On Friday morning, we even managed to carry off the deadline earlier than expected, which surprised everyone. During one meeting, there was a tricky discussion with a client about changes to the contract. The situation could have gone badly, but our team lead stayed professional and confident. Watching her carry off that negotiation was impressive. Later that day, an internal email announced that our department had carry off a small internal award for collaboration, which boosted morale. Not everything went smoothly, though. One afternoon, some confidential papers went missing, and for a moment, we worried someone had carry off the wrong folder. After checking with security, we found it had been moved to another office, and the stress quickly faded. By the end of the week, we were exhausted, but proud. We didn't just complete tasks. We managed pressure, solved problems, and carry off situations that could have easily gone wrong. Looking back, it felt good knowing we could carry off real results together, even when things weren't perfect. Great, that was the second text, and that's all for today. Thank you so much for following this channel, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.